Hey YouTube, Jethro here. Had to come home from work, had a grandbaby that was sick. Of course, daycare don't take them with temperature, and I don't blame them. And normally I fix some dinners before I leave. I've got frozen chili, I've got, I get frozen pizzas and what have you for the kids and wife while I'm gone, because she really don't like to cook, and there's a good reason for it. She can't cook. But I come home and found a couple last packages. I think that's about the end of it. Deer from last year. Some young tender steak. I'm going to go ahead and dice some babies up and just make a big old pot of deer stew. Which I only use deer, potatoes, carrots, a little bit of celery. Make a nice big thick pot, or a big pot full of kind of a soupy type stew, because at the end of it I make up a homemade dumplings and throw them in there. I don't use a biscuit mix or anything like that. I don't like them. They're mushy. We've grown up eating a certain type of dumpling. They're firm. They cook up right. They have a bite to them. You know, they soak up the broth pretty decent. But anyhow, that's what I'm going to whip out real quick before I have to go back to work. My wife or kids, somebody will make it home this afternoon. I gotta go finish my 24-hour shift. So that's what we're doing right now. I want y'all to take a look at this also. This is deer I shot and processed out last end of November, 1st of December. But put them in the vacuum packer after I'd worked them up, vacuum packed them down. Man, it just doesn't get any better. I brought those things out of the freezer 9 o'clock this morning. Threw them in a big old bowl of cool water. It's now a little after 2 in the afternoon, but they have completely and totally thawed. They're still cool, and we're going to work them up. But I'm telling you, a vacuum packer is worth its price in gold. It's just, and I think it's something that's low enough wattage that a person could work off of a solar unit, a 12-volt battery system with an inverter or something like that. They don't pull very much watts for the smaller units. So anyhow, okay guys, so this would be a great Dutch oven setup. However, like I say, I'm stuck inside with a sick kid, and it is what it is. So what I've done is I've got about 3 pounds, maybe a little over deer meat. I did not measure it out. Just a couple packages of it, and I have added some coarse salt, gray salt. I added pepper, and I added a little bit of garlic. Now I've got a little bit of bacon grease in the bottom of this to start it off. I'm actually going to cook this, toss it and turn it until it almost burns. It's going to caramelize some crispies on the bottom and stuff. Then I will go ahead and add some water, break that stuff loose, get those flavors formed, and start adding, well, actually I'll add water and let it just cook for a while and form a broth, and then I'll add veggies here in about probably an hour. I want that meat to be super tender, and the veggies won't take probably 20 minutes to finish off, so that's how we're doing it. Okay guys, dumplings. The way I do it, 2 eggs, and I put 2 tablespoons of water per, or however many eggs you want. If you're making a small batch, you maybe only need 1 egg, but I usually use 2 eggs, and it does make a bunch of dumplings. I usually throw a little bit away, but I use 2 tablespoons of water per egg. I use butter, probably close to at least a half teaspoon to a teaspoon of pepper, and at least a half teaspoon of salt. Okay, that's going to be the flavor, and I don't measure really my flour out. Just whatever the liquid comes up to, I add enough flour to bring together a real stiff dough. Yeah, you almost got it, didn't you? So anyway, it looks like I got plenty of flour here. By the time this all comes together, I'll kind of show you the dough after we get done. Alright guys, so that's the end of the dough ball I got right there, and when you pinch it off, you use less than a teaspoonful each time. Make several small dumplings. They puff up a little bit. This is all-purpose flour. I do like it better. It don't have that much of a rise to it. The self-rising flour with the baking powder and stuff in it, it just seems like it, I don't know, they get a little bit more mushy, and like I said, I'm not a one for a mushy dumpling. So we'll get on with the stew and show you some more here in a bit. Okay guys, so here's the deer stew, soup, whatever you want to call it, it's been on long enough to, potatoes are just starting to get tender, and so are the carrots. And really, I mean, if you'll see, the size of my thumb is about the size of a little dough ball that I'll pinch off and put in there for a dumpling. Like I said, these ain't mushy and soft, and if you like that, then get you a can of biscuits and put them in there. These actually form up pretty firm, cook up firm. They do take on the flavor, plus the butter, salt, and pepper just kind of added flavor to the flour mixture itself. And really, you don't need much bigger than that, because if you do, then they get too big and they ain't able to absorb up the flavor, and they just, this to me, I found out to be about the perfect size. The kids go to town on this. If they get a hold of the ladle, they go in there and they steal all the dang dumplings out and the meat, and they leave the potatoes and the carrots. So I dish their bowls up for them. But it'd take about another 10 minutes or so. Carrots, potatoes will be soft, stew will be done, and she's a hearty meal that'll feed many people. So, y'all have a good one, and Jethro out.